sound and fearsome roar awoke our hero from his rest. The maid of Windermere had called the grave thresh from its nest to have at her behest.
I get the feeling there's going to be another boss battle in here.
Is that him?
Yes. Ooh, Fade Blades.
How can this be? Sir Sagrel dead? I do not understand. Such a tragedy has never occurred in this song. Not in all the seasons of the telling. At the end of this ballad, Sagrel defeats the grave thresh. He is victorious. I don't know how, but someone has changed the song of Sir Sagrel. Listen. We are not alone.
That's kind of how they know it ends. No, it's just a Bogart. Oh.
But there's another.
Oh, it's the thresh as opposed to the grave thresh. Confusing. So many.
Oh wow, it looks like he's a crossbow.
Yeah, he's got a bow hand. And apparently when he's not stuck in the ground, I can't hit him.
There you go, but you don't want to get slashed by all those vines.
Luckily, he barely has any health. Okay. That's cool that you get to fight him again and he's actually more fighty.
So,
ow.
Does the Fae believe that there's some sort of sabotage going on? It's just, it sounds like
Staff
it's a reoccurring event. Like this ballad continues
well, remember
to play.
the Fate Weavers can tell the future?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Oh, so they predicted incorrectly?
They told the future... Oh dear, is there another one?
Defeat the Threshers, yeah.
There are two, hold on. Inventory... Oh wait, no. This is what I have to do. I'd forgotten to do this earlier.
Oh, you get to put potions and such in different slots?
Yeah, it's a quick thing for controllers. So you can do...
Yeah, you're gonna need to get some health.
Yeah. Well, I'm mapping the health potions and the mana potions. Which I should have done earlier, but forgotten to. Let's throw in one of...
And are there any buffs?
Fire! Okay, health is full, and health regen. Go! Should be another one.
Now, do you find mechanics in games where certain creatures have various weaknesses to various elements, do you find that a benefit or just annoying?
Oh, that... I got this guy.
Hmm?
I find it beneficial and annoying. Take DMC for example, which had the red enemies were weak to the red weapons and the blue enemies were weak to the blue weapons. That's like the stupidest manner of handling. Oh, did Fiken die too? Yep. He only had 45 gold on him.
Hey, well it means he can't take your ring and claim the seat for himself.
Yeah, it looks like a win. Also treasure chests. But... So, if weaknesses are handled well, like it does an extra 25% damage, sure. But, I know this is kind of the one game everybody loves almost irrationally, but Pokemon, the way it handles strengths and weaknesses, I actually find severely limiting.
Oh, I remember back when my brother and I would play Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Stadium, I mean. So with Pokemon Stadium, we would have, fairly balanced teams, one water, one grass, one ground, one fire, and maybe a couple offshoots. But if we were getting down to the wire and we only had Pokemon of strengths and weaknesses, my brother would...
Hold on for a second.
What's this?
Oh, wait, no. For a second I was going to say that was the Tuatha, considering the colors, but no, it's just
okay.
Either a Fae or an Elf. I can't really tell.
But in any case, so as soon as I would, send my Charizard out to obliterate his Venusaur, he'd suddenly switch out and he'd have his Blastoise. And I'd be like, come on, what?
Yeah.
And we'd end up having a switch battle until I decided, you know what? I'm just going to switch to my electric type. And then he switched to something that wasn't going to be strong against it, but wasn't going to be weak against it. And we pummeled each other until one of us, you know, died. But, no. I think, yeah, and just how easy one attack can completely obliterate a creature in that game.
I'm a Wayfarer now. Wait, what?
Hmm?
Oh, that's cool. Seeker is generic. So if you have 2 points in everything,
so that's why they're gray cards.
Yeah, they're gray cards. They're for everything. I remember complaining about this earlier, but this is actually really cool if you want to do kind of a hodgepodge of everything. Which, yeah, makes plenty of sense to me right now. Maybe. Okay. Weapons, secondary.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love the Metroid Prime trilogy. And there were some creatures that did require various weapons, but it was because what aspects of the arm cannon you used was part of your mechanic.
Yeah. I don't know. Weaknesses in every game just feel like a cop-out. It's always just like, well, use fire on the ice guy. And it's like, yeah, but I don't want to solely have to use the fire on the ice guy to win.
I noticed that with, you know, The Legend of Zelda, for instance, it was a means for you to test your new toy when it came to each dungeon.
Yeah.
It was sort of like that with Metroid as well, I suppose, with
Though
the
realistically,
bosses.
you'd use your new toy
Elsewhere in the game, but usually only for small, special areas where you could get a heart piece or something.
Yeah.
Backtrack kind of stuff.
I guess it just annoys me, especially in Zelda, where you, for example, or Ocarina of Time, you got the Megaton Hammer, and except for, you know, busting a thing or two, you really never actually went back to using the Megaton Hammer for anything. It was never useful against any other bosses.
Didn't you require it occasionally in the Spirit Temple for buttons?
Buttons? But, like, you couldn't do something cool to, you know, bust somebody's face, for example.
People would use it as an alternative to fight Ganondorf at the end, unless they got the Biggoron sword.
It's just disappointing to me how limiting weaknesses can be. It doesn't add any real...
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm Illidan. I guess...
I wish that they crisscrossed in the opposite manner, like, you know...
What, like...
Like, long on the bottom, short on the top, so that they'd look more like wings.
Sir Sangrel approached the spirit deep within Gorgoroth. He slashed its wicked stock and root, safe from behind its wrath, slyly from a side path.
Oh, hey. Burgerts. Why are they dancing?
They like to do their little shuffles.
Oh yeah, what's my charge-up move do? That's just a dive forward. I was kind of hoping I'd, like, spin around and send things flying out. But, like...
Isn't there a chest on the left?
I already got it. I got all of them. I guess just in Pokemon, I wish, like, I could fight fire with water, and it'd be at a disadvantage, but, you know, Surf won't just insta-kill my Charizard.
That is very true.
Because it just feels like you have to tailor your party. It's kind of why gyms, for example, aren't really that challenging.
Just get the one Pokemon that's the weakness to all of theirs, and you win with one member of your party.
Like, I liked Pokemon Black and White. I thought they were actually the best Pokemon I had ever played.
Aren't they hybridizing most of the Pokemon? So now that they will have secondary types, that favor their first type or reduce the number of weaknesses they have?
Yeah.
Or does it only compound them and make them have more weaknesses?
I think it varies. I hope for the starters they have separate types entirely that don't get rid of weaknesses, but just give some variety.
I think it would be cool if they had reverse weaknesses for the starters.
Yeah, so fighting, psychic, dark, that would be cool.
But going around in the opposite direction of their normal strengths.
But even then, I really, really wish... Oh, what? I'm not out of mana. I just really wish, you know, I could use Surf on a fire Pokemon, and it would do, like, 25% more damage instead of double damage. Because 25% is still a huge advantage, but I can't just, like, one-shot your, you know, fire Pokemon with Surf because I knew what you're going to be sending out at me first. It's like, as I was saying in Black and White 2, you would get the monkey keyed to the gym's weakness as soon as you went into the dungeon. Well, not went into... Sorry.
The gym.
Yeah, as soon as you went into the gym, more or less, and it cheapened the whole deal. I remember the sheer frustration and difficulty of the original games, you know, Red and Blue, where if you picked Charmander, you were pretty much up shit creek without a paddle, unless you could...
Hey, I chose Charmander.
Unless you could get yourself a Caterpie and, you know, buff it up until it can cast Confusion. Except for, like, if you had Red version, you were in even more trouble.
Are
Except
you,
for, I guess,
are
you
you
could
referring
get
to
Nidoran.
fighting Brock or something?
Yeah. Like, I remember just how bloody difficult that was if you'd pick Charmander.
I mean, I picked Charmander. I'd have to think on how I actually beat him. I just think I trained up. I don't know if at that point I had a water type or a grass.
You had no access to either until after you fought Brock. Before then, all you had access to was like Rattata, Pidgey, Nidoran. Yeah, Nidoran was the other way to beat Brock, but I always forgot about Nidoran, which is kind of disappointing.
I think I did use a Nidoran to help, at least in some respect.
Yeah, because you could use Double Kick, which would murder Onyx. But I always had to grind a Butterfree up to 15, and of course Butterfree, being bug flying, is super weak to rock.
I thought you chose Bulbasaur, though.
I replayed Blue several times.